Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make the letters M, N, and O in a one-point perspective. Now I'm going to work up the letters M, N, and O, the next three in the order of the alphabet. M, N, and O. So I'm roughly sketching this in. I want it a little bit more oval here, more of an oval O. And now I'm going to block them in. And these are all going to be capital. M, N, and then I'll bring this down. Although I do want this to be, let's see, M, N, and O. So the O is going to be thick. I don't want it to go beyond this. There. Got to bring this down. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and trace these over with a Sharpie. And you can use, when I have long lines, I go ahead and do it with the ruler, and then any of the really short ones, I just do freehand, but that's up to you how you want to do this. I'll show you on one of them, and then I will I want to find my center here, so this is going to be the center, and then this is going to be the center. I want to make sure that it's pretty straight. And I'm just roughly blocking these in. If you were going to do your name, you'd take a little bit more time and make them more precise, or any word you're going to be doing. But I'm just roughing it in quickly for the demonstration video. So they may be off a tad, just to save time. So there's the M. So now I'm going to do the N and the O. Okay, so I have the M, N, and O sketched out. Oops, I left that right there. Now I'm going to go ahead and come back. My vanishing point is going to be right where my eye view is right now. So I'm going to bring it to the center here of this letter. And now I'm going to bring everything back, all of the corners and edges back to the vanishing point. So I'm sliding this back, and this one, vanishing point to the corners, vanishing point to the corners, and this one has a sliver up here. And my inside corners as well. Those are hidden, but this one shows here. Okay, so now I'm going to start blocking this in. And I'm going to come across the bottom slightly. And then from here, it's going to determine wherever these intersect. It comes up vertical. This is going to come up vertical. When you come up vertical, it has to be parallel to the edge here. So where the bottom intersects the side line here, I come up vertical. So there's the 3D in there. This comes back this way, and then it's going to drop. And so it will continue. So the thickness of this will come back. And then this continues parallel here. So this is going to come up straight to where it intersects this line coming down. Let me erase that so you can see it a little bit better. This is almost a straight line from here to here. It comes back slightly and then down straight. So I have somewhat of a thickness there. Now this is going to come over Now I don't see any of this inside in here, but I do see some inside in here. So I'm going to come up, and this line needs to be parallel with the ruler here. But I'm not seeing anything on this area. So let me show you what that looks like with the ruler and with the Sharpie. And then this is going to come across. And then this is coming up vertically. This is coming down. So I'm going to move it over a little bit. And then once I color it in, you'll see it. The images kind of just pop once they're colored in. This line I want to be real careful with because it's really close. Make sure when you're doing this, you're accounting for the thickness of your marker as well, if you're going to be using the ruler here. Okay, and now I'm going to color this in. Like so. Now I do have a line where I overlap, so I'm just going to take my white out, there, and fix that. And then when you erase the lines, it's going to look amazing. Oh, I did forget these lines right in here. I'm just going to freehand them because they were small. So I'm going to finish coloring this in and show you what the M is. The letter M. And now I'm going to erase. And this is with the pointed edge here. If you want to do it flat, you just come up straight and have it flat here. But I'm keeping these pointed. I kind of like the pointed look. You can see here, this is the flat look here. That's what I meant by flat and pointed. There we have M. Now I'm going to work on my N. Bringing all corners back to perspective. And then I'm going to do the start of the bottom. This needs to be parallel. The ruler is parallel to the bottom of the letters. Determine how thick you want your letters to be because they can be real thick or thin or medium. This is about a little over 1/4 inch. Now, where they intersect this corner, you come up parallel. So this needs to be parallel. The ruler needs to be parallel with this inside of the N. There's my thickness. And then where this intersects, this corner here, this is going to become parallel with this line that comes diagonal. I make a parallel line that intersects. And then this is the thickness of my letter. This line is going to be parallel in here. And now I'm going to go ahead and trace with a Sharpie all the lines I want to keep. And any of the longer lines I always use a ruler for if they're a little bit longer. Shorter lines I do freehand just to make it quicker. It's up to you how you want to do it. And then I'm going to color in the 3D for that 3D effect. And if I go over, I'm trying to do this quickly, so when you do it quickly, there's little bits of overage. And then I'm going to color in the N, show you what it looks like. And there's the N. And now I'm just going to erase some of these lines. And there's my N in 3D. This looks pretty good. Now we're going to work on the letter O. And this is a rounded, so since it doesn't have any right angles or corners, we're going to go with the widest spot. So where it's the widest here, this is what's going to come back to my vanishing point. So I take my ruler, put it on the vanishing point, and I'm sliding it to the farthest area of the circle, or the oval actually. Bringing that to my vanishing point. Same on this side. Now we're going to go ahead and I do want to put in this curve here. So you want to mimic this curve right here. So it's going to come off of here and it's just going to be parallel right around. And then it falls into this area, this line coming back. Now you're going to see some of the shadow in this area as well. So like we mimic this curve, we're going to come off of this and just mimic this right around. And so this area will be colored in as a shadow. I like to come off of this curve, just draw right around, and then this area gets colored in. And then this is going to be freehand curved. Whoops, I went off my line a bit. And then I follow this straight line in here because it's the thickness of the letter. If you're doing these letters, you may want to use an extra fine Sharpie for outlining, and then you can use the thicker, this is a thicker one here, for filling in, just to be more precise. But let me go ahead and erase some of these lines and you can see right there. So here is our M, N, and O going back into perspective.